What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mind Pump TV. I'm your host, Danny Matranga, and today I want to share two of the biggest tips I have for you with regards to developing your legs. Hands down in my coaching and training, these two things have made the biggest difference for me, and I can't wait to share them with you today. Hey guys, before I dive into these tips, I want to be sure you grab our big leg guide. I've put the link down in the description below. Feel free to grab that after the video. It's completely free to you, and it highlights a few of the things we've talked about today, but really expands into some other concepts that will build nicely upon the tips I'm about to give you. So don't forget to grab our free big leg guide below in the description box. All right, so tip number one for growing your legs, hands down, this is the biggest thing that helped me the most and it helped my clients a ton, and that is to increase your frequency. A lot of lifters train legs just one time per week. If I think back 8-10 years ago, when I first started watching people lift, or even reading about it in magazines before I started lifting, everybody was hitting legs one time a week. More recently, with the popularization of routines like push-pull legs or upper-lower, right, you've started to see an increase in the amount of times people are hitting legs in a given week. Now, in my experience, the more I hit my legs, the more they always grew. When my legs were their biggest, I was hitting legs anywhere from 3 to 4 times per week. Now, here's the key with that. You've got to make sure the volume is scaled. So if you were doing one weekly leg training session and doing 20 sets, you're going to expand that into 2 sessions. You might go 10 sets per session, and you just scale that out. So if you go to 3, maybe you do 7 sets per session, and you go up from there. But what I will tell you is this, that frequency of stimulation, for whatever reason, I found tends to work quite well for training legs. I have a few theories, one of which is that training legs is quite demanding, and that when you do heavy leg work and you're doing a monstrous leg workout, you might be tired out a third of the way through because your nervous system starts to fatigue. So giving yourself more of an opportunity to spread that volume out might allow that volume to be of higher quality throughout the course of your training week. So if you haven't already done this, try experimenting a little bit with your training frequency, especially when it comes to legs. It can make a huge difference in the development and growth. Second tip, and this is a big one, you've got to progress more than just your squat. Too many lifters are exclusively focused on how much they can bench, squat, and deadlift. Now, I believe that to be quite important, especially if you're a power lifter, obviously. However, if your goal is muscular development, you need to be focusing on getting better at lifts other than the squat and the deadlift when it comes to lower body. While the squat and the deadlift do a fine job of packing muscle on, they shouldn't be the only lifts in your training routine. I recommend people progress a single leg or unilateral version of a lift, like a split squat, a Bulgarian split squat, a step up, or a walking lunge. I like to progress machine and isolated movements like leg extensions and hamstring curls. And I really like to progress exclusive isolated glute work like hip thrusts, things that help protect the back and develop the posterior chain. You've got to be focusing on getting better at more than just your squat and your deadlift. And again, those could be the base of your program, but within that, you've got to progress movements that train the legs in various positions and train the various musculature of the lower body. So unilateral lifts, your posterior chain lifts, your hip hinges, your squat variations, and your squats and your deadlifts all have to be part of a well-rounded, progressed, lower body focused resistance training program. So there you have it, guys. 2 big tips for you to really help improve the quality and results you're getting from your leg training. Tip number 1, increase the frequency. And tip number 2, progress more than just the squat and the deadlift. And again, guys, before I head out, do me a solid, grab the free leg guide. You'll love it. It's got a lot of additional resources for you. Give the video a thumbs up, turn notifications on, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more. Thanks so much for watching Mind Pump TV.